Hello everybody, my name is Doomfish. In today's video I'm going to show you how you can make a AFK general mob farm in Minecraft. So the mobs that are farmed are the zombies, spiders, skeletons, and creepers. Now as we can see, it's just an alternating pattern of these water dispensers up here on these different spawning layers. Then all the mobs get funneled down here, and then they fall to their death on top of these hoppers, and you can get a ton of useful drops. Again, these are the 5 main drops you'll get. Also, something worth noting is that witches can spawn here, but not in really a significant enough amount to count for anything. So your main 5 drops are going to be the one we saw in the chest down there, which is rotten flesh, strings, bones, arrows, and of course, gunpowder. So let's show you the materials needed for this farm. So here's about what you're going to need to make the farm. Keep in mind that these numbers might look a little different if you're not making the full 8 layers of spawning layers that I have in my farm, but this is for the entirety of the farm. First up, go ahead and place down 5 double chests on top of each other, like so. Then, out of the side of one of these, we're going to place down 5 hoppers in the back, just like this. Go ahead and place 1 hopper on top, and then 4 hoppers coming out of it, like so. And then on each side, we're going to place 2 hoppers facing into that middle row of hoppers we placed earlier. And what we'll get is a 5x5 square of hoppers where our mobs will all fall down onto. Next up, head about 25 blocks up in the air, and so this is a space of 25 blocks. We're going to place 1 more block on top of it, like so. Then, in each direction, we're going to head out 6 blocks using slabs, so 6 blocks in this direction, in this one, basically north, south, east, and west. Now we're going to go ahead and fill in the corners and make basically a sort of like diagonally twisted square, or like a diamond shape you could say. I'll show you what that looks like when you're finished. So it should look something like this when you're done. It's just basically the 6 in the cardinal directions, and then this little like triangle shape in all the corners. So the next step is to use slabs, and we're going to place down 2 slabs on top of each of these sort of edge blocks of our shape here. Then we're going to do the same thing we did down here, so we're going to head out 6 blocks or 6 slabs in this direction, and again make sure these slabs are on the top half of the block, and do the same thing here, and then fill in the corners. Now the next step is to make a little 1 block high border around our entire shape, and then make another 1 high border around that, but this time we're going to place some slabs on top of this border as well. And now that that's done, we get this sort of pretty cool looking shape in here, and the next step is to go ahead on top of these solid blocks here, go ahead and place down water in each of these corners. I would recommend making a temporary infinite water source somewhere, and then just getting your water from there. There we go. Now in the middle, we're going to see this 3x3 square around our first tower of blocks. We're going to place down some fence gates in that square like so. Go ahead and open them, and then knock out the blocks in the middle here, just like so. Also, we're going to see that we have our sort of tower of blocks here. We're going to go ahead and break that down all the way until we get down to our 5x5 square of hoppers right here. And then underneath our square of hoppers, just go ahead and light up the entire area down here so that our no mobs can spawn where we don't want them to. Now on top of this fence gate right here, we're going to place down 3 temporary blocks like so, a dispenser facing upward, and then we can just go ahead and break these blocks. And then go ahead and place down 7 slabs on the top parts of the blocks in every direction. Also, once you're done with that, go ahead and fill in the corners just like we did down here. There we go, should look something like this. And now we're going to go ahead and make our next layer, which is just going to be the same thing, except we're going to head 2 blocks up, and we're going to place our dispenser here. Now we're going to keep on doing this for 7 more layers, so we have 8 total layers, including this bottom one. Again, just placing down our smooth stone slabs here, or whatever slabs you decide to use, filling in the corners all the way up to 8 total layers. You can do less than that if you want, but for the tutorial, I'm going to show you the full version here. And there we go. Here's all 8 layers of the farm ready to go. So next step is to head to the top here, and we're going to place down 2 temporary blocks here, dispenser facing up like so. Go ahead and place the observer facing into that top dispenser like that. Then go ahead and put water on top of this dispenser right here, and put an empty bucket in it. Now we're going to do the same thing down here, in the second to top layer, by placing our observer up here, but instead of placing our water down on top of this dispenser, we're going to go ahead and put a full water bucket in here. We're going to continue this pattern down, so the next one is going to be a observer facing up. Again, it's always going to be observer facing up. And in this one, we're going to place down our water bucket on top and put an empty water bucket in here, and keep on alternating this, so water, no water, water, no water, all the way down. And there we go. You can see for each of these platforms that there's water on top, then no water, water, no water, all the way down to the bottom. And so then on this very top layer, here, this dispenser, we're going to do the same thing we did basically, except we're going to put these slabs on the bottom half of the block here, because this is going to be the roof of our farm, and we don't want mobs spawning up here. Then we're going to head out 14 blocks in each direction. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Do that in all directions, and then fill in the corners, just like we did for every other layer here. And there we go. Here's our roof complete. You can check if you did it correctly by standing on one of these layers, and you should see that even on the edge blocks, we are at light level 7, which is dark enough for mobs to spawn. Now, on one of the sides of the roof here, we're going to head out 2 blocks to the right, or to any side, really, of this dispenser right here. Place a slab, 2 more blocks, another slab, so it looks something like this. We're going to place down a block here and here. Place down a comparator facing out of this open space, like so. Then place some redstone dust on top of these blocks, and then in the middle we're going to place 2 hoppers, make sure they're facing into each other, like this. Then on the edge here, closest to our dispenser, we're going to place down a torch like so, and you should hear the water flicking on and off, that's good. Then we're going to place down some sticky pistons here. Then go ahead, inside of this, first we're going to place down a block of redstone on top like so. And then inside we're going to place down 16 items of any kind. I'm just going to use the solid blocks we've been using for the rest of the build. Then, finally, on this block right here, we're going to place down a lever like so. If you flick it off, this will flick off the farm, and these things will stop sort of turning on and off. So now it's a good time to test if it's working. We can see the water sort of alternates, so the layers that had water on top now don't, and vice versa. And we'll see that the mobs flow down to the bottom. They can spawn on these platforms when there's no water on them. And so we always have some mobs spawning there, and then on the bottom layer as well. So we can tell this is working, and the last step we need is to get our AFK spot ready. So what we're going to go ahead and do is head in the front of the farm here, and I've set about like maybe 10 or 12 blocks, maybe a little more, away from the farm, just so that if we were to look straight up, nothing is directly above us, and we're going to place down 2 stacks of scaffolding right here. So now the next step is to go ahead and place down some glass blocks over the farm, so that you will be directly over the top of this farm right here. And so for me, I need to place down about 17 blocks, so maybe like here, maybe a couple more. I think that should do it. It's kind of hard to tell from up here. We should be directly over the center of the farm. So the last step is to go ahead and place down 2 blocks around this side, 2 blocks on this side. Go ahead and place down 3 blocks right here. Place down our door in front, and we're going to place down enough glass so we get a little enclosure right here. So we can stand here, and just in case any like phantoms or something were to spawn, or something weird like that, we're completely safe from mobs in this little hut, and we can farm out resources down there. So now that our AFK spot up there is complete, the rest of the farm is now fully functional, so you can stay up there for a day, a couple hours, a couple days even, as long as you really want to, as long as the server's open. And look at that, you can just see right now, even though I'm not even at the AFK spot, we're getting a ton of mobs spawning down and falling to the bottom right there. This is a very efficient way to get a lot of different mob drops. Again, it doesn't focus on one in particular. You get all 5 of the ones that I listed at the beginning of the video. And you can even get some special drops, like some of the bows from skeletons, I believe. Although I'm not entirely sure, they might be based on if the player kills them. I think they might actually be. So yeah, this is great if you do want large amounts of like bones, rotten flesh, even gunpowder. Even though a creeper farm is better for that, this still gives you a large amount of that as well. So that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you found it informative, or if you enjoyed the video, don't be afraid to leave a like, and you can subscribe for more content just like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.